You see, I've realized something about many believers is that many believers will often think that the act of worshiping is in worshiping God who understands. That's incorrect. And here's why. You see, worship in the Bible was often done to thank God for who He is and not what He has done. You see, there are two dimensions of worshiping. The Bible speaks of worshiping in truth and in spirit. What does it mean to worship God in truth? I want you to understand that the Bible speaks of God or Jesus being the way, the truth, and the life. Truth. So simply, worshiping God in truth means worshiping God with the knowledge and understanding of who Christ is to you. Now understand this, many people have different revelations of who God is. If we all had the same encounter of who God is to us, there would not be a need for a personal relationship with Him because everyone has experienced the same thing. This is because God understands and works by principles. The moment you are familiar with the presence of God, that is the moment you become content. And that's the reason why Lucifer fell. He was too content with the presence of God that he desired His will. Now, the second dimension of worship, worshiping God in truth and in spirit. What does it mean to worship God is in spirit? Now, understand this, the Spirit of God helps us to do what? To intercede and pray. The Bible speaks of this in the book of Romans. For we do not know how to pray out now at all. The Spirit helps intercede. Now, what does it mean to worship God in spirit? It doesn't say worship God in His spirit, just in spirit. That means it is a place, it is a location. Worship is done in such a location, which is the spot. Understand this. When I say I'm worshiping in the spirit, I have reached a dimension where my worship is in the spirit. Why does God require to worship Him in spirit? Remember, you're worshiping God for who He is. If I am a lion or I am an animal and I interact with a human being, it will be difficult for the human being to understand it because now I am not in the same communication level as the human being. My intellectual capacity does not allow me to communicate with the human being. Now, the only reason why God wants you to worship Him in spirit, because God Himself is spirit. And the only way communication can happen between you and God is if both of you reach the same dimension where you can both communicate with each other, spirit to spirit, deep unto deep. That's why many people miss encounters, because you're worshiping God with a carnal mindset instead of worshiping in truth and in spirit.